In October 1990, a civil war broke out in the East African country of Rwanda, and during it took place the Rwandan Genocide, which began on the 7th of April 1994 and lasted up until the 15th of July that year. The genocide resulted in the death of hundreds of thousands of people from the Tutsi community of Rwanda as well as Hutu moderates at the hands of Hutu extremist groups. The civil war began when a group of rebel Tutsi refugees invaded northern Rwanda from their base in Uganda in 1990. By 1993, peace accords were signed with neither party having secured a definite victory in that battle. On the 6th of April 1994, however, President Juvenal Habyarimana of Rwanda, a Hutu leader backed by France, was assassinated with his plane being shot down by a missile on his way to the capital, Kigali, with his Burundian counterpart. Subsequently, inquiries into who the perpetrators were have left a foggy vista with no clear indication of whether it was Hutu extremists or Tutsi rebels who carried out the attack. And it was the very next day that the killings and the genocide began. In the aftermath of the genocide, the United Nations established the ICTR, or the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, in 1994, with an original mandate for 4 years to try defendants in relation to the crimes committed during the genocide in Tanzania. The tribunal wrapped up its work in 2015. In this video, we will look at the key features and the salient details that came out from the working of the ICTR and its importance as a historical event in the application of international criminal law. Through several resolutions, the Security Council called upon the tribunal to complete its investigations by the end of 2004, complete all trial activities by the end of 2008, and complete all work in 2012. The tribunal had jurisdiction over genocide, crimes against humanity, and the violations of Common Article 3 and Additional Protocol 2 of the Geneva Conventions, which deals with internal conflicts. The first trial of Jean-Paul Akayesu, the mayor of the Taba commune in the Gitarama prefecture, belonging to the Hutu community, began in 1997. Jean Kambanda, interim Prime Minister of Rwanda at the time, pleaded guilty. It is interesting, however, to note that the tribunal's failure to prosecute war crimes committed by the Rwandan Patriotic Front, or the RPF, or its leader Paul Kagame, both belonging to the Tutsi community, was widely criticized to the point of being characterized as victor's justice. On the 20th of October 2000, the trial began against Hate Media. Gregory Gordon was the chief prosecutor in this trial, which sought to ascribe responsibility for the role of hate media and hate speech by propaganda institutions in broadcast media for their role in inciting the genocide and the violence. On 19th August 2003, at the tribunal in Arusha, life sentences were requested for Ferdinand Nahimana and John Bosco Baraiguiza, persons in charge for the radio-television Libres de Mille Colonists, as well as Hassan Ngeze, director and editor of the Kangura newspaper. They were charged with genocide, incitement to genocide, and crimes against humanity before and during the period of the genocides of 1994. On 3rd December 2003, the court found all 3 defendants guilty and sentenced Nahimana and Ngeze to life imprisonment and Baraiguiza to imprisonment for 35 years. Due to a drilling, expensive and stretched out awareness campaign involving a number of internationally based NGOs which aim to bring forth the issue of gendered violence to the ICTR, the trial of Jean-Paul Akayesu established that genocidal rape does in fact fall under the legal boundaries of genocide and is in fact an international crime. Presiding Judge Nawanathan Pillai said in a statement after the verdict that from time immemorial, rape has been regarded as a spoil of war. Now it will be considered a war crime. We want to send out a strong message that rape is no longer a trophy of war. The ICTR indicted a total of 96 individuals. 2 individuals remain at large as fugitives, and if captured, they will be tried before the International Residual Mechanism for Criminal Tribunals, the IRMCT. The case against 1 individual is in the pre-trial stage. The ICTR, or the IRMCT as its successor, convicted 61 individuals, 31 of whom are currently serving sentences, 22 of whom have completed their sentences, and 8 of whom died while serving their sentences. The tribunal acquitted 14 individuals and transferred the cases against 10 individuals to national jurisdictions. The tribunal ended proceedings against 8 individuals before a final judgment was rendered, 2 of whom had their charges dismissed by the tribunal, 2 of whom had the charges withdrawn by the prosecutor, and 4 of whom died.